Hey there, everyone. Welcome to your weekly training. I decided to do something a little bit different this week because we just came off of the four-part series of Earning the Greek IELTS, and it's a pretty intense training. I gave you a lot of information and a lot of homework, especially those of you who are newer to the training. You might not have some of those things in place yet. So some of you have been with me for years and years, so you are doing a lot of those things already, so then it's more fine-tuning. So this week I decided to train on something that is fun and quick and simple. It actually was my training at my team meeting last night, so I'm just going to duplicate it for you guys. It's something I think that hobbyists and business demonstrators can use. It's something I'm going to use. I'm really super excited about it. That's why I think it's fun. And it's an event that you can hold. So my make and takes for the meeting for this month were 4 quick, simple, cute, easy Christmas cards. They are ones that were pretty simple to cut for and do. And they're super cute though. I mean, that's always just because it's complicated doesn't mean that it's a good selling card. A lot of times quick, simple, cute cards are very good selling cards. So anyway, I trained on what's called a Christmas card design studio. So the concept is that you have a certain amount of cards, let's say 6, 8, 10. I wouldn't do too many more than 10 cards. And you are going to invite your friends or family or neighbors over for a Christmas card designing party. So you already have the cards designed. So you have 4 cards, I'm just going to say 8 cards that they get to choose from. And they can choose whichever card they want, and then they get to choose how many of that one that they want to make. And what they have to do is order the paper, the embellishments, the ribbon, the adhesive, the envelopes, and then you will get all those supplies in and you will cut the card for them. And they get to use your supplies, like your stamps, your ink, your Big Shot, your punches, but they're still buying all of the consumable items. So this is an event that I do almost every year with my friends. No one has to be crafty. It's actually all about, hey, let's get together on a Friday night and have fun together. And you guys bring the food and wine, and I will bring the paper. All cut and ready for you, all prepared. So I do all of the designing work for them, and I do all the cutting work for them. For me to cut for 40 cards of one and then 30 of another, it doesn't take me that much time to cut, and I choose cards that are, a lot easier. Now they're going to do all their own bow tying, they'll do all their own assembling, the stamping. We all get together then and have a girls' night, and we have a good time. We have a really good time. We laugh and we just sit there and put our cards together. Some people get them all done. Some of us just get their stamping done, then we assemble them later. But you'll be surprised, actually, for a night that's fun, a night that is all about an enjoyable social event, you would be very surprised at how big my sales are from that event. So I set a limit to having usually 8 to 10 people. I've had more than that, it's way too many. So I usually just choose 8 to 10 is the maximum that I'll do. Because I have to really help them a little bit too. A lot of these people are not even paper crafters, so I have to help a little bit. But once they get going, then they're off and running. All the cutting is done. We all know that's the hard part is the cutting. So, and of course I choose cards that are not super tedious, and it might be a little bit of coloring, not much. And so, but they have to order all the paper. So it might be 3 or 4 packs of paper. They have to order the rhinestones, the ribbon. Sometimes it's a couple bolts of ribbon, the adhesive, and the envelopes. A lot of times they're $50, $60, $70 orders. It all depends on how many cards that they want to do. So I tell them, usually with a pack of paper of each of the colors, they can get 48 cards. And if they choose to go over 48 cards, then of course it doubles the amount that something cost. But if they do 24 cards or if they do 42 cards, it's still the same cost for them because I have to order all of the paper for them. And they get to keep all of the leftovers and can use whatever they want for it. So it's a really fun night, and I call it my, Rhonda's Christmas card design studio. And, or really for my friends, I'm just like, hey, we're going to get together. We're going to do Christmas cards together. We're going to have fun. And you guys are going to home make them. I'm going to make them too because I want to do it and have fun. I don't want to wait until the first week of December and be all stressed out and then don't even do them because I'm so busy, or it becomes a chore instead of being fun. So let's make our Christmas cards fun this year by doing them together, and you could really impress your family and your friends by sending out homemade cards. So then I pull out the ones that they have to choose from, and they can just choose from those 8 or 10. I also would put it on Facebook. So I personally do not do a paper invitation for this for my friends because I want it to be just a fun night, a low key ladies' night. Again, I'm going to end up with probably $500 in sales. It is a really good night for me, but I want them to feel like this is just us playing kind of night. And Rhonda's so nice to do all the cutting for us that we're going to make her food. And then they bring me snacks, and I get to eat all their snacks. So it's a wonderful, fun night. Now, you could choose, for those of you who want to really grow your business, you could choose to do this for your customers as well. And you could also, do an invitation for it and invite more people. I still would limit to how many you have, and you could even offer to do it for a friend, and she could do it at her house with her friends. It definitely does take a little bit more work to do all the cutting for them, but the design work is already done. So it's not that much extra work if you have a good paper cutter. So I have the Carl cutter, the DC210, and anybody else who has it absolutely loves it. People joke and say Carl's their boyfriend, and everyone loves Carl, but it does make a huge difference to be able to prepare for an event like this. So I want to approach you first to do it yourself. Do it for fun. Do it with your sisters, your mom, your favorite people in the world. To do it with them, they're going to say yes because they're going to want to spend a night of fun with you. Then you could even open it up to then obviously your friends as well and ask if they have a friend that they want to bring. Again, let them know. Space is limited. I can only have 8 at a time, or I can have 10 at a time, and then that's it. Now, you could book several of these if you really wanted to continue to keep growing your business and growing your sales. So if you want to try to reach outside, you could start a Facebook event just for this Christmas card design studio. You're going to list the 10 cards, show the 10 pictures and number them 1 through 10, and let them pick which card that they want to make and how many that they want to make of it. And then you will send them an invoice. You can send them an invoice via PayPal, or they can pay you via friends and family, so there's no fees, or they can give you a check, they can give you cash, but they have to pay for it. I know my friends, my family, they all know I'm not taking advantage of them, that I'm going to charge them just for the supplies. They're getting a really, really good deal. Number one, they don't have to buy all the paper, all the inks, the stamps, the Big Shot, the folders, the framelits, the punches. They get to borrow yours. So that's huge. The second thing is that you're doing all the work. They just get to sit and do the fun. So they should really appreciate it. So if their bill is $50, $60, $70, they're not blinking an eye because of all the work that I'm doing and how gracious you're being for letting them borrow and use your supplies. So the cool part is when so-and-so picks a card, I figure out how many, I cut for that, and then I take like one of those Rubbermaid container boxes and put all her supplies in there with her package of her cardstock and give her a little spot when she comes. So it is, when I do it with my friends, we usually start like at 6 o'clock at night, and we may go till midnight just because we're having fun. It's about my social life too, and spending time with my friends and refueling my soul. That's what the purpose of it is. Now, if I was to do it for my customers, I would definitely limit it to probably 3 hours. So I might go from 6 to 9. And then if they don't get done, at least they get their stamping done there because they're using my supplies, and then the rest of it they can assemble later. Depends on how many cards they have. If they only have 20 cards, then they'll get that done because, again, all the cutting is done. They just have to assemble. It all depends on how much they want to visit. I've had friends that just come and make two and then visit the rest of the time and then finish the rest of them later when they have time. So I'm encouraging you to have fun, and look at it that way. If you look at it as booking your own party, booking a class, and I know all those nerves are going to come in. This is different. This is going to be different. I want you to think about how you can have fun with the people in your life. Then if you would also like to, yes, it's a great idea. It's a good business idea too. It'll help you get your sales in October and November. So, and you can even do it the first week of December if you want to. You could book these with your customers too. And again, maybe have 5 or 6 at a time, do a Facebook event for each one, let them choose what they want, and they have to RSVP, 10 days in advance and pick out their card. You have to be very structured on when they have to RSVP and when they have to pay you by, because you have to be able to order the card stock, get it in and cut it, and then hold your event. So I usually do about 10 days beforehand. A friend of mine does those palette parties or the board painting parties. I've actually gone to a couple. I really like them. They're fun. But you do, like, the party has to be scheduled 3 weeks in advance, and you have only 1 week to pick out what board you want to make, because then she has to order the vinyl, and because a lot of times it's personalized, and then so it's like almost 2 weeks before the party. So all of them I've been to have been huge. She's had 15, 16 or more people there. But you set the expectations, and she did it by a Facebook event, and then she would post the pictures of all the different vinyls, and you would go in and say, okay, I want this vinyl, I want it in this color. And then when you get there, she would have it for you. So it's kind of the same concept. And, I want this card and I want 20. And then, the cost of them, again, are about the same. So if you want to put on there prices, you can, or I would just let them pick them and then you could send them the cost that it is. You can put an average cost on there for 48 cards. And that way they might pick one that might be less expensive or one that's more expensive, or you can just tell them to ask you if they want to know the cost first. So that's the route I go. And just say, you can message me and I'll let you know how much each card would cost for how many. Because it does depend on how many. If they pick 100 cards, it's going to cost a whole lot more than if they picked 25. So I just tell them to message me or ask me, and I can sit down and figure it out really, really quick. Again, make sure you're including all the paper, you're including all the embellishments, and you're including the adhesive. Now, I do ask if they already have adhesive. My friends don't, so I can include the adhesive in there, but you can ask if you're doing it for friends that are actually customers. They may already own snail and don't need any more. I still recommend they usually get some mini glue dots, some dimensionals, some snail. So you'll be surprised by adding all that in there. And then I say, how many envelopes do you want? I expect them to buy envelopes from me too. If they're going to buy 48 cards, they need to buy 2 packs of envelopes. So they have our pretty envelopes to go with their very pretty cards. So, and yes, if they need dimensionals, I buy dimensionals. They get a whole pack of dimensionals. If they need a mini glue dot to stick a bow on with, I order the mini glue dot. So anything that's consumable, they have to buy the whole package. When they get there, I give them a bag with all their supplies in it, and they get to keep all those leftovers. And they'll know how to use it because they will have used it that day. So I hope that gives you some fun idea. It's a quick, simple one. This is one that I did train on at my meeting, and I encouraged my entire team to do one, even my hobbyists. You know what? Get together with your friends and use your stamps. Let them borrow them, but make sure you're charging them for all of those consumable products. And I do recommend cutting them for them before they get there, because that's the perk of doing that. So start with your friends, start with your neighbors, start with your family, a sister, sister-in-law, mother, mother-in-law, grandchildren. Start there first. And then if you want to, continue to keep broadening that, and you can offer more. This is and would be like a private class. So you might even bring in some new people this way. And the biggest thing, though, is choosing the cards properly. You have to pick ones that do not require an insane amount of cutting, but are still cute and pretty. I like ones that include rhinestones or a little bit of ribbon, because that way that increases the cost of the card. or maybe one that has a wink of Stella on it because it's easy, but then again, it increases a little bit of the cost so that you are definitely getting your sales that way too. All right, good luck. Thanks for tuning in tonight and to this recording. It's only 15 minutes long, so hopefully it will inspire you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.